A Q&A with David Niewert, America's foremost writer and thinker on far-right extremism, on what might happen if Trump wins, or loses. David Niewert was a 21-year-old newspaper editor in the Idaho Panhandle in 1978 when the Aryan Nation hate group showed up in town. He and his publisher arrived at a fateful decision. "We decided, these guys just want publicity and we're not going to give it to them," he said. Well, within about 3 years that policy was completely discarded, because what followed was an endless litany of criminality, culminating in '84 with the rampage of the order, including bank robberies and assassination. It taught him a lesson that has informed his work for almost 5 decades as America's most important writer and thinker on far-right violent extremism and its incursions into the conservative mainstream. There is no acceptable choice but to shine a light on forces like these. You have to provide readers with the context into what they're doing and what their beliefs are, and make sure you're not just doing he said, she said journalism, but actively exposing them for the people to see, said the writer of hundreds of articles on the subject in newspapers, in blogs and Substack, on Daily Kos, and in books.
I don't think this is an illegitimate fear. There could be a massive amount of violence from the right, from groups like the Proud Boys and Patriot Front after the election.
Yes, certainly there are going to be people recruited because of your journalism. But many people will be repelled. And more importantly, officials and law enforcement will be prepared, informationally, for dealing with these guys. Dave and I have been friends since blogging's early days. One of our encounters, in 2009, proved indelible to me, and had a huge influence on the work I'm doing now. We were at the annual Netroots Nation conference when news broke that a terrorist had assassinated Dr. George Tiller while he was serving as an usher at church. The Kansas abortion doctor had been wearing bulletproof vests out in public since the first terrorist attempt on his life, in 1993. The shooting followed months of threateningly escalating rhetoric on the mainstream of the right since Barack Obama's election.
So yeah, I've known OBGYN doctors, and they do have real serious fears for their life, because if you truly believe that abortion is murder, then it makes rational sense that some people who believe that will then try to kill abortion providers.
Indefatigably documenting it all. More from Rick Perlstein. Offhandedly, I mentioned to Dave that I expected his phone would soon be ringing off the hook with interview requests, as reporters, producers, and Google searches would quickly turn up Niewert's work exposing how Fox News star Bill O'Reilly had, night after night.
So in general, I find there is a lot of sharp analysis of the right by the left, just as the right is often sharp and correct about the left. Often our most intense enemies see us more clearly than our dearest friends.